The Wild's second open beta ran over 2 weekends in February prior to the game's release at the end of the month. For all intents and purposes, it was the same as the first beta, with the addition of the Gypsaros hunt, and of course the flagship hunt up against Arkveld, as well as the training area in the base camp. That of course means we've got full breakdowns and guides of all of the weapons. Here we're taking a look at the switch axe. I will also be doing a master guide of all 14 weapons. Check that out when it's up if you're interested in the others. If you enjoy my videos, you can join the 20% of returning viewers and subscribe for more Monster Hunter guides. But honestly, just watching them is support enough as well. Undoubtedly one of the inspirations for the Bloodborne transforming trick weapons, introducing the switch axe. Axe mode is its standard form, where you can do a core 3-string combo with triangle or Y, with the first overhead slash and the third spiral burst slash being particularly strong. The whole combo restores a really good amount of switch gauge, the yellow bar needed to do sword moves, replenishing just under half without the heavy slam buff. This is your core bread and butter axe combo. Repeatedly pressing circle or B will initiate the wild swing combo, seeing the hunter swing the axe from left to right, consuming stamina as they go, with their feet planted in place. After a few hits, the heavy slam attack becomes available via triangle or Y, a crunchy, powerful finisher which gives you the heavy slam buff, lighting up the bottom left portion of the UI. Whilst this buff is active, it increases the power of axe mode attacks and the amount of switch gauge generation from them. Press R2 to swap over to sword form, generally the stronger mode which deals more damage with quicker attacks, but actually has lower mobility. Your core higher damage attack string is with triangle, executing a 3-piece combo string. Your sword attacks consume switch gauge, and connecting them fills up the amped gauge, the red bar in the bottom right of the UI. Your circle attack string is a little slower and less powerful, but fills up amped gauge a lot more. When filled, the sword gains its file effects. Think of that as extra damage, elemental effects, things like that. You also replenish a bunch of switch gauge. Some modularity here as you can go into your circle string of combos after your triangle string, going into a double slash after the second triangle attack, or a triple slash after the third triangle attack. A good way to blend damage but also building up amp gauge very quickly, as well as the damage increase being fully amped gives you access to some special attacks. By holding R2, triangle and circle, you're able to do an unbridled slash. You don't need to be fully amped to do this, but continually holding it down will do a more powered up version, the full release slash, which you do need to be amped up for. An explosive, very flashy finisher, which is due a big damage buff, one of the announced weapon balance changes for the release of the game. It consumes a lot of switch gauge, but does not remove your amped gauge. You'll notice there's a bar about a third way through the switch gauge. This is a minimum requirement to go back into sword form. When under, you can press R2 to reload the switch axe, giving you that minimum amount, but this is a bit redundant, just do some axe attacks instead. Another awesome attack you can do when fully amped is the zero-sum discharge. By holding down triangle and circle, beyond the element discharge, which is just pressing triangle and circle, the hunter will latch onto the monster and execute the zero-sum discharge attack. Rapidly press triangle for extra ticks of damage during the attack, which will eventually explode off the monster for massive damage. During the axe wild swing, you can press R2 to do the morph sweep, one of the strongest attacks the weapon has. Slow but big crunchy swings with the axe turning into the sword, finishing off with a forward slice. Triangle and circle to do element discharge whilst in sword form is like the basic zero-sum discharge, where you don't need to be in full amped state. What I love to do is after a morph sweep attack out of the wild swing, go straight into a full release slash. So crunchy. There are some excellent mobility strikes in axe form as well. By holding forward with the left stick and pressing circle, you'll execute a forward overhead slash, a large forward lunging gap closing attack that hits for pretty good damage as well. Inversely pressing back in circle will do a fade slash, propelling the hunter backwards while slashing with the weapon, the latter being usable out of pretty much any axe attack. Off a ledge, you can press triangle and circle to do a jumping element discharge, which when fully amped can be held down to do a zero-sum discharge, a pretty fancy ledge tech. While holding down L2 in focus mode, you're able to execute your focus strike with R1, 2 different iterations depending on if you're in sword or axe mode, but you can also morph midway for either. Sword form doing a flurry of slashes and ending with a quick element discharge finisher, and axe form hacking away before ending with a power axe finisher. The sword mode one building some amp gauge, and the axe mode one replenishing replenishing switch gauge, and giving the heavy slam buff. The weapon also comes with some very good defensive counter-attack measures. In sword mode, you're able to press R2 and triangle to go into a parry stance. It's quite a big window and you'll unleash the counter rising slash afterwards, which you can directly follow up with a heavenward flurry with circle, or an element discharge, unbridled slash, etc. You do take pretty hefty chip damage, so do be mindful of that. This ain't a free no damage parry, it comes at a cost. That's not all, axe mode has an offset attack. By pressing triangle and circle, you can do the offset rising slash. Has a bit of a wind up and there's no charge to it, but you can instantly initiate it at will, and it's relatively easy to time. Use this during an enemy's attack to parry them and send them reeling backwards. Your hunter will hook onto the monster and you can press triangle or circle to do the follow-up heavy slam. A crunchy axe attack which will also give you the heavy slam buff. You can also press R2 to do a very powerful follow-up morph slash. A single strong frontal cut with a morphed sword. This hits really hard. Big damage on the initial cut, and a big follow-up file explosion for a lot of damage too. What a fantastic rendition of the switch axe we have for wilds. Really versatile, very crunchy, great offense and defensive measures as well. Like all weapons really, it's highly modular and you can do all sorts of different morph attacks out of combos. So definitely explore these. Switch it, twist it, flick it, bop it, and let me know how you get on. As mentioned, I'm going to be covering all 14 of the weapons in a master guide and in these individual breakdowns as well. If you're interested in those, keep a lookout for them. Join the 20% of returning viewers and subscribe if you want to catch more of my Monster Hunter videos. But until next time, I'll see you in the Forbidden Lands.